because the programming is going to be based upon what their strengths, weaknesses, and
get the fuck up. Simon says, get the fuck up. Throw your hands in the sky.
What would be your programming recommendation for these 3 personality types when training for strength? A meathead that always wants to go heavy, a workhorse that always wants to do volume, and a tech geek that strives for perfect technique. First off, there's not 3 personality types. There's like fucking 20. So everybody's got a different personality type. And I'm not really sure I would change the programming, because the programming is going to be based upon what their strengths, weaknesses, and when the meet is. So that's going to determine kind of how the programming is going to fall. And then any changes to that is going to happen because of what you see within the training and what you see weak points developing as. So that's kind of how the training is going to progress. That's not going to change based upon what their personality is. What changes is how you're going to communicate with them. So the person that you would consider a tech geek or somebody intellectual, you need to explain why. You need to be very clear as to reasons why they're doing something. You can't just, meathead out the answer, or fucking push back, or push your knees out, or head back, or you got to explain in more detail to them why they're doing what they're doing, or they're not going to understand and they're not going to be able to implement it the way that you want. Where if you have somebody that's on the other end of the spectrum to where they don't give a fuck, they just want to be told what to do and they want to lift big weights. You don't want to sit there and try to explain everything to them, because they're not going to fucking hear you. They're going to tune you out. So you need to be very specific, very direct on what they need to do, and keep it fucking as simple as you possibly can. So, those people that fall in the middle, you just have to learn how to communicate with people is what I'm saying. Is training people in person is totally fucking different than training them online. So you need to learn how to read nonverbals when they walk in the door. You need to be able to learn how to, distinguish, does this warm-up set look like it did last week? Is it slower? Is it faster? What mood are they in? What, is something fucked up that they're not telling me about? Is something shifting that shouldn't be shifting? I mean, all this stuff you have to kind of be seeing as they're warming up. And usually in a gym with multiple lifters, you're looking at many lifters at one time to be able to see what's fucked up. You're not, as a coach trying to help these people, you're not trying to look for what's good. You're constantly trying to look for what's fucked up. And then when you find it, address it. And how you address it, that's what I'm talking about here. How you address it's going to be based upon their personality entirely. Are they going to be insulted if you speak a certain way? There's more personality types within powerlifting now than there was 15 years ago. So it's more like when I was a personal trainer, more focus has to be put on exactly what needs to be said. But you're not going to totally change your personality to suit them either. So if you're a direct person, you're still going to be a direct person, but it's going to be direct with, more information on one end, less information on the other end, and just consistency. You can't tell them one thing and then answer the reason why, and then the next training session they ask a question that's real similar and you give them a completely different answer why. You can't fucking do that. So you need to be a good coach. I mean, you need to be consistent in what you know and what you're applying. And if you fuck up, tell them you fucked up, and fess up to the fact that, this is a process that we're trying to figure this out over a period of time together. The blame's never on the lifter if you're helping them. The blame's on the person that's kind of coaching them and telling them what to do. And so that's where it needs to be. So if they get hurt, that's on you. So that's a mistake that you made. You didn't tell them to pull back or whatever it's going to be. It's never, well, they didn't listen to me. Well, if they didn't listen to you, then you suck at communicating with them. So it's part of the process is learning how to communicate with whoever you're training. So that's the answer to my question, is study communication a little bit more. And if you're not getting through to somebody, then either don't work with them or figure out how to get through with them.